All right. What is going on, everybody on YouTube? Griffin here, coming back to you guys with another live stream from the Millennial Motivation Entrepreneur YouTube channel. First and foremost, before we get going, if you're new to the channel and looking to join an awesome community of like-minded traders, definitely consider hitting the subscribe button below. We'd love to have you here. We now have over 600 of us here. Just love to see the community grow more and more day by day. We also have a free, everything with this channel is totally free. I do not charge for anything. I never will. There's a group chat down there. It's in the description box. If you don't know what Discord is, it's a free app you can get for any Google phone, Android, Apple, any phone, any smartphone essentially. It's free to join. It's super easy. And once you get it downloaded and whatnot, just click that link and it'll take you right to our group. Easy to join. We have over, I think, around 80 of us in there now. So, again, awesome to see that community grow day by day, week by week. So, as you can see so far, we haven't made any trades today. You guys know we made like $60 on SPY calls yesterday. Should have been a lot more. If you don't know the story on that, I'm not going to waste any time really going over it today, because I got all that out of my system yesterday. But that's the previous video from yesterday if you want to check that out at some point. But we made $60 on some SPY calls that we scalped yesterday. What should have been a scalp turned into a full-on entire day trade. But we're looking to do the same thing today. I missed out on a great buying opportunity so far just since SPY has pulled up here in the last hour or so. I've missed out on a few $100s. I'm looking at around a 50 contract position size. So obviously every dollar that these calls will go up, it's $50 of profit, right? So we're going a little bit big today because I just want to make a quick little profit and move on. How's it going there, Michael? Welcome, welcome. But let's put it this way. When I was looking at these contracts, I have it just pulled up here because I'm ready to submit the trade once I'm ready to hop in. Obviously, I wanted to have very good internet after yesterday's little experience, and obviously at home I have very good internet. So I have my order pulled up here, and ever since I've been looking at it, the price of these have gone up roughly $16 to $17 per contract. So just do the math on that. Let's just say 16. We'll pick the low end, 16 times 50. I've missed out on $800 worth of profit. Just because I didn't pull the trigger. And I didn't pull the trigger just because it didn't meet my criteria. I wanted the 5-minute kind of to go oversold. I wanted our 1-minute chart to go oversold as well. The 1 minute did. I actually missed out on this one. And this isn't the point that I'm talking about. The point where I was going to hop in was right down here. I noticed a little double bottom form on the RSI, but I was like, I would really like to see this hit oversold before I hop in. It didn't, and honestly, I think they're going to probably pull it up, obviously, the rest of the day. But we're probably still going to have, as you guys know, this little trading style that I do with scalping once the RSI is oversold. Usually happens on average 2 to 4 times per trading session. If we want to count this as a oversold, which it's not, that would be 2 technically already. Again, I'm not counting that, so we've only had it happen once. I'm not thinking we're necessarily going to have a huge flush like this again today. But I do think we're probably going to have some little pullback, at least down close to the SMA at some point, hopefully. I mean, you're talking about a 20-cent roughly drop from where we're at right now. So that's not really a huge drop necessarily, but definitely big enough for me to go ahead and hop in. And then obviously, I'm keeping a lookout on the MACD. When I was looking at buying earlier, I didn't really like how the MACD was looking. We had a little bit of buying going on for about the last hour going into that. And it looked like, sure enough, we were going to go into a little bit of selling, and we did. MACD really didn't come down a god-awful lot, and like I said, RSI didn't start really showing oversold either, so I didn't hop in. But literally, if I'd hopped in at this point, and based on where the contracts are at right now, yeah, I still would have an $800 profit as of now. And really, it's kind of been around there ever since we've gotten close to 289.90 to 290 is where it's really been. So literally, if I got in right now, that trade would have put me, just based on that trade, it would have had roughly 4,250 is what I'd be cashing out. And when I was going to get in, it was going to be roughly a 3,300. So actually it's up a little more. It's up about 900. I thought it was around 69 when I started looking, but it might have been 67 or 68. Who knows? Either way, it's around a $3,000 trade, and it's showing if I were to like have it and cash out, it'd be a $4,200 position. So I mean, it might even be more. It might be north of $1,000 that I missed out on just on that trade alone. The strike price I'm watching right now is the 291 call for next Friday, I believe it's, or next Thursday, because Friday is obviously Good Friday next week, so the 18th. I'm looking at the 18th expiration date, and starting, I don't know what, yeah, because I won't have any day trades available until next Wednesday after today, pending that I even end up doing a trade. I won't have any day trades available until Wednesday, so at that point I'll be rolling out to the 419. Maybe if I decide to do a day trade Wednesday, I'll probably do the 417. Or hold on, I'm thinking a week behind. If I do a trade next Wednesday, I'll be rolling out to the 424, and then starting Thursday I'll roll out to the 426 is what I meant. I didn't probably confuse some people just then. But right now we're trading the 418 because obviously next Friday is going to be a holiday, so there won't be any trading going on. But right now we're looking at buying 50 contracts of the 418 291 calls. So we'll see what happens. It looks like it might be trying to roll over a little bit here. Again, I often look at the 5-minute chart, more so for the MACD. And you can see here we've had quite a bit of buying going on the 5-minute chart. I wouldn't be surprised if here before long we do get that pullback to around 289.70 range. And at that point, depending on how our indicators look, I might go ahead and scoop up those contracts and try to make some quick money. You guys know, I mean, I probably wouldn't have held that long anyways, but I mean, even just this little, if I had went ahead and pulled the trigger and bought, was it right here? No, if I went ahead and pulled the trigger and bought right here, and even just up to here, at that time it was around a 3. You guys know in Discord, because I'm constantly on Discord updating you guys on what the profit would have been if I hopped in. It was between $300 to $500 if I recall, just from literally this point to this point. So missed out is what it is. It just didn't meet my criteria. The indicators on the 1 minute just kind of were throwing mixed signals, so I didn't want to hop in too early and then end up losing my ass on that trade. So better to just miss out and wait for your true opportunity to get in rather than get in too early and then have to ride out some pain for a while. So I'm gonna check the stream real quick, just make sure we're doing all right. Got 4 of you tuning in. Hopefully you guys are having a good day so far. Like I said, so far we haven't placed any trades. We're just simply checking out SPY and potentially looking at making a trade. Hopefully sometime within the next 30 minutes or so. Because for those of you that don't know and are tuning in, I do have a full-time job, and I'm actually like on my quote-unquote lunch break. I don't get paid by the hour. I get paid for production. So I got all my morning stuff done early, and I have a couple hours here just to kind of take a break because I can't even get to my next stop. It's currently just after 12 where I'm at. I can't even start my next stuff until after 1 o'clock. So I got a little bit of time to kill. So decided I'd come home and trade and try to make a little bit of money. So, and if you're new to the channel, like I said, definitely consider subscribing. We'd love to have you here. We have over 600 of us now. Can't thank everybody enough for all the support that you all have given the channel over the last year that we've been, a little over a year now, that we've been streaming and trading and all that good stuff. So, and of course, the whole point of the chat being pulled up, if you guys have any questions or anything like that, or even any ticker symbols you want me to take a look at, just shout it out in the comments or in the chat box or in the comments after the video uploads if you have any questions in the future whenever you guys see this video. I'm always, that's what the whole stream is all about, is just answering questions, breaking down stocks. Now, when I'm actually in buying mode, that's when I'm probably not going to be breaking down a stock because I will be looking to get in and out of my trade fairly quickly. But if you have any questions right now, now is a perfect time. Let me check out the futures real quick. So hopefully we can get this drop soon. I think when it does start to drop right around 289.90, they're going to try to hold that pretty hard. So it'll be interesting to see if it can drop down that far. If it breaks at 289.90, we will probably go ahead and see that drop. Oil, for those of you, because I know we have a lot of people in here, including myself, that trade oil from time to time. Oil's having a hell of a day, up about 1%. UWT is also up a little over 2%. I told you guys way back in January, February, I was like, UWT is going to go north of 20, probably on up to $25, $30 by summertime. It's already over 22. Me personally, it's not my style to kind of like buy and hold for months. You guys know I like to just kind of get in and out of the market pretty quickly, especially in this type of market where, I mean, everybody's just expecting a recession at this point, expecting the stock market to kind of go to shit. It's not a matter of if, it's when. So, I mean, you just got to trade kind of, at least in my perspective, I trade kind of cautiously just because day to day you don't really know what is going to happen. Like those of you in the Discord group chat that we have, you guys know I sold those calls yesterday for a $60 profit. Literally, if I had held them overnight, it would have made me over $2,000 just because we had this huge pump overnight. When we look at SPY, you can see we had the huge gap up overnight, and literally at the high of the day, it showed it was up like $2,400 if I were to have held that contract. So it might even still show it. Like you can see right now, it's still showing, because there's a glitch within Robinhood on the Apple app at least. It'll show like what would have been if you had held, and it's still showing right now up about $2,000 if I were to have held that position. I don't know if you guys can see that good or not. Let me pull up my streaming thing. You might be able to. Yeah. So as you can see, I mean, missed out for sure, but like I always stress, like do not get caught up in what could have been. I mean, who's going to predict a huge gap up like that? We don't really see, at least in the market we've had over the last few weeks, these huge gap ups on a daily basis or anything. So like I always say, I would rather cover my profit early 10 out of 10 times and make money 10 out of 10 times over and over and over than hold, have to be worried all night about what the market's going to do in the morning, and then throw it up in the air on if I'm even going to make money or not. Oil 100, no, that's a little bit too high. I think oil's still going to go, it's going to struggle at 65. Let's pull up oil real quick since it looks like they're trying to pump SPY a little bit more. Let's go back to that contract real quick just so I have it pulled back up. So that's not the right price. Let's see. Okay. 50. All right. So, like I said, oil, it's going to struggle right around 65 first. You can see it got rejected right at about where I drew my trend line. And I've had this trend line drawn for, God, at least 5 months or so, because I was showing you guys how way back last year around June, you can see June, late June, middle of August, we bounced off this right around 64.50 support 3 to 4 times, and you can see they even tried to save it a little bit above it right as it started falling down. And then obviously we had the breakdown to end the year, and now you can see, I mean, we're heavily overbought right now on the 1 year, 1 day. I would not be surprised to see oil pull back clear to $60, $62, between $60 to $62 before we ultimately go higher. Does that mean it's going to? No. I mean, oil has been just running lately, and even on that inventory report, which was Wednesday, I believe, where if I remember right, the estimate got beat big time by like millions of barrels. So even on that news, oil barely pulled back. So, I mean, oil could go ahead and kind of consolidate here before legging up higher. If oil gets above 65 and holds it, then I do think we're going to retest 70 to 75 before all is said and done. $100, nah, I don't see it happening. If it does, we'll have bigger concerns within the market than oil at that point. But I do still think if it can break through 65, I do think 70 to 75 is still kind of the target on oil. But I said all along, I said 65 was my original price target on oil, and I said there's going to be a lot of resistance, and if it can break through, then 70 to 75. But right now, I'm still keeping my price target right around 65, and if it breaks it, then yeah, I'll go ahead and push that price target on up to 75. I don't do banks. I'm just a guy. I don't like banks. I don't trade banks. I don't invest in banks. I hate banks altogether. I don't want my money touching banks at all, ever for that matter. And banks have been doing, well, from what I hear at least, let's take a look at the XLF. That'd be the only thing I would consider touching when it comes to banks. I will never touch an individual bank itself. So it looks like banks have been rallying a little bit to start the year, but they're still outperforming. They're not like doing terrific by any means. Even the XLF, it's up about $5 a share. That's what, about 18% maybe from the absolute low. So right now it's at 20. It's actually having a hell of a day today. It's up about 2%. So it's up around 20, yeah, about 20 to 22%. Honestly, I think banks are about to get rejected. You can see we're still on this overall downward pattern. It's getting close to an area of resistance. I don't know if Wells Fargo chart looks like this. Most banks look about like the XLF chart, but I think most of the banks are probably getting ready to go back down. That's just my 2 cents, just by looking at XLF. I don't even know what Wells Fargo, theirs is. What is that, WF? Yeah, see, I don't even know what theirs is. Wells Fargo's down 3%. Then yeah, I mean, if it's down, did they have their earnings report today? If they had their earnings and they beat, take a listen on the conference call. Take a listen to their conference call and kind of fill it out. See if it sounded, if their guidance was bad, because that could be it. If the guidance is bad but the earnings were good, it doesn't matter. If the guidance is bad, the overall outlook on the stock is going to be bad. You'll be seeing downgrades, etc. So just kind of get you might not even need to listen to the conference call. Just get a good feel of how the guidance was overall. But yeah, banks just aren't my thing personally. The fact that I even have a Capital One bank account just hurts my soul. But for some reason they're offering the best APR right now. They're offering for a savings account 2%. So I mean, that's pretty good for a savings account right now. Shorting gold. Yeah, gold I think is going to keep going down as long as the market continues to go up. Gold's actually up about 0.1% right now, but it's gone down quite a bit here over the last hour or so, it looks like. Actually, the last few hours it's kind of been going down. But yeah, I think gold will probably keep going down. It's now under $1,300. It's probably looking oversold right now. Not quite. It's getting there though. I think it will it's probably going to retest that support around 1285 to 1290. If it breaks 1285, it's going to keep going down, which in my opinion is actually good for the markets, just from kind of what I've seen over the last year or so. But oh, I'm on the 4 hours. That doesn't make sense. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if SPY, I think I mentioned this yesterday. I was like, I wouldn't be surprised at all if SPY touches 290. I didn't think it was going to be today, in all honesty. But I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if SPY tests 290, aka around 2,900 or so on the S&P 500 in general. And us get rejected and flush and have our first correction of the year. It wouldn't surprise me at all. But then again, it wouldn't surprise me at the same time if we go on up to 300, which would be around 3,000 on the S&P 500. So we're kind of at a pivotal point right now, being right around 290. It'll be interesting to see just overall how we kind of finish the day. Are we going to finish below 290? Are we going to finish above? And just kind of how the buying or selling strength looks going into the close. Depending on, I got a feeling they'll probably pull it on up above 290 to end the day, but it just depends on the volume. What I notice is every time there's a volume spike within SPY, it's selling every single time almost. you can see on right here, right as soon as the selling started, volume picked up, and then once buying started occurring, the volume just kind of dried up lately. So I wouldn't be surprised even if right here, like I'm almost tempted to hop in right here just because the volume is still so low. I got a feeling they're getting ready to pull it on back up to north of 290.10, but I can't buy 50 contracts at that price. That's just way too much. So let's see. Boss is coming back early. Yeah, I know how that is. That's why I'm glad I have a job where I can I have some fluctuation, like just with my day, with my schedule. My boss only cares about me getting my work done. As long as I get the stops on my schedule done, I get left alone for the most part. I do not miss. I will probably never go back to an hourly or salary or any type of position again, because it just gives me a little bit more control. I can kind of plan my day around my other stuff, like even family stuff, because obviously I have a baby on the way in August. I'll be able to kind of plan my days around that, around trading, etc. And those of you that don't know, obviously I have a child on the way, and we will be taking, at least I will, I don't know how long exactly my fiance is going to take off, but I'm going to be taking about 2 months off of work, so I'll be doing live stock market trading a lot at that point. Pretty much any day I have a day trade available, I will for sure be hopping on here with you guys. And then even on the days I don't, I'll probably still hop on for a few hours in the morning session. That way we can just break down just the market overall. How's it going there, Luis? On that minute chart, let's see. Were you talking about the minute chart, I think? So, yeah, right around right here. Or were you talking about when it started coming back up? That would have been what? Right about here. Yeah. How's it going, Josh? Oh, thank you, Michael. Yeah. Yeah, it was unexpected, but we're making the best of it. We're prepared, to say the least. We got thousands of diapers. We're gonna have around $10,000 to $15,000 just in the bank, so we won't have to worry about any bills, making any money necessarily while we won't have to worry about making any payments and whatnot while we're learning to be parents. While it was diverging. Well, when it diverged, it was around minus point, what would that be? 0.2. Yeah, also Amazon. Like we have Costco and Sam's Club here. And we go to Sam's Club just because it's closer. The Costco is like 30 minutes away. Sam's Club's like 5, so we chose Sam's Club. But yeah, Sam's Club, actually, I was surprised for the bigger size diapers. They had better deals than Amazon, but Amazon also has some pretty great deals on diapers. I bought quite a few, actually, of the Amazon brand, which I was kind of skeptical about, but I did a lot of research on them, and I mean, most people say they're pretty good diapers. So for like a bulk of, let me see, on size, the most recent size I bought was like size 4 or size 3, and for around 700 or so diapers, it was around $100. So I mean, wasn't too bad. Actually, I think it was a little less than that. I forget exactly. All I know is it was around 1,000 diapers, and it was about $100 or so. So hopefully we can get a little bit of a pullback here finally, maybe. I would love to see our MACD and go down further. If the RSI can go oversold too. You guys know for this scalping style, I tend to use the RSI the most. I kind of use the MACD more so as if I'm going to be doing more of a longer scalp. But I don't really like doing the longer scalps. I kind of like getting in and out within like 2 to 10 minutes at the most. Yeah, right. I know. Yeah, that's why. I mean, I think I was looking at just a bunch. When you try to like Google different charts of how many diapers you should get per size and there's so much variance. So I went with the highest amount one, and it shows that we pretty much got enough diapers for pretty close to the entire first year. So that's awesome. Now we got to start buying wipes. Wipes aren't really that expensive though. I mean, you can buy thousands of them for like $20 to $40 or less. Last I checked, it was like I seen one on Amazon is like 1,300 diapers for like $22 or something. So I mean, diapers aren't. I mean, wipes aren't that expensive. It all adds up though. I mean, I've spent specifically, I don't know, hundreds of dollars on all that stuff already. Not to mention the money we're setting aside for the time that we're going to be taking off. I'm like, man, if I could put that in my trading account instead, could be making a lot of money, but it is what it is. Just delaying everything by a few months. Come on, keep going down. It ain't time to go back up yet. Right, yeah. Yeah, her sister also just had a kid like back in, I think like September, October. And it's just crazy to see how much that kid's already grown. She's like 6 or 7 months now, and she's not walking yet, but like she's just starting to learn how to like roll around and all that stuff. It's just funny to watch. But yeah, I mean, she's so big compared to how little she was back then. Yeah, no, everyone keeps saying like once you actually have the kid, the time just goes by like that. Like you don't notice it. There's still long days that feel really long, but they say it goes by super quick. So just take every day in stride. And so our 5-minute chart's starting to look attractive. It looks like we're getting ready possibly to finally pull down for a little bit. So we'll see if we can retest 289.70-ish here before long. I have my alert set at 280, or I meant 289, not 279. I have an alert set at 289.61 simply because you can see here is a little bit of a resistance as it was trying to pull back up earlier. So right around this area is probably going to act as an area of support possibly whenever. I mean, you can see we got a pretty decent gap to fill right here still. About an entire 1/10 of a cent or so move to the downside. Just to the SMA is around 0.08% of a move. I mean, that's not a big move at all, guys. Now, from where we were at, though, it's a little bit bigger. It's about, what, 0.0? It's about 0.15, 0.16 total move to the downside. So, we'll see what happens. Kids are 16 and 19. Yeah, my brother's 19. I'm 21. I'll be 22 in June. So, yeah, it's crazy to think. Already 20, gonna be turning 22 in just a couple months. Just like I was looking back on just trading in general. I've already been trading for like over a year. Started trading right around the little dump that we had at the beginning of 2018. And it's already been like a year, almost a year and a half since then. It's like, I'm so used to like going back and looking at the 180-day chart and seeing the January, February dump we had, but now you see the December dump we had instead. It's fun just to watch the charts. Like you have to go back further. Now it's over a year ago. You can't even see it on the 1-year chart. Way back here was when I started trading, right around this little time frame. So been pretty volatile since I started trading compared to how we were just in a directional straight up market. It's been crazy volatile since I started trading, but it's been fun. Let's see. Show. Yeah, I know. I get that a lot. 64. You got plenty of time still too. 64 is the new 24, right? We've had about a 0.05 move so far. We're about to go oversold. Let's see what kind of price we got. We're still at 78 cents per contract. Still a little bit too expensive. I want to see it still come down a little bit further. I want to know, what do you guys think about that Uber IPO? Do you think it's going to have kind of the same reaction as Lyft? I personally think more people are going to be, that are in Lyft, are going to hop out of Lyft, dump Lyft, and hop into Uber short term. Uber's probably going to jump up something crazy, and then you're going to see a bunch of people taking profits really quickly, and ultimately Uber and Lyft will probably go down big time. That's my prediction. I think more people are going to be excited about Uber than Lyft. Why, I have no idea. They both do nothing but burn money, but I just kind of think people, how bad Lyft has been performing, I think you're going to see people just dump Lyft altogether and hop on into Uber. And I think they're going to be coming out, what, next month? I think it's next month from what I heard yesterday. Short it? Oh, you're talking about like to my alert that I've set. Yeah, see I don't do puts anymore when it comes to SPY, just because every time, I mean literally every time with the exception of like one trade, every time I short SPY, I lose money. Where every time I hop in long, 99% of the time I make some money, even if it's only 10 bucks, 30 bucks, 50, 100. I mean, I almost always make money going long on SPY. I don't know if it's because the market always bounces back up, but just it seems every time I go long, I make some money, and every time I go short, I lose. Now, I do think still over the next little bit of time, we're going to see it kind of pull on downwards. It's just how long and how far is it going to drop? Because just because the MACD showing it should be getting ready to sell, doesn't mean, I mean, we could see it go red here for 5 to 20 minutes, a little 20-minute period, and then boom, on back up we go. Kind of form a double top on our buy and sell indicators. Kind of like, was it yesterday that we formed that double top? No, what day was it? Or some day we had, well, we kind of had a little double top right here, but it didn't really do anything. But we'll see what happens. Still got a lot of room to move. What I'm going to be super mad about, because I will have to go back to work here in about the next 30 to 60 minutes. I got a feeling I already know what's going to happen, is they're going to take their sweet time, keep pulling it down. I'll have to go to work. Like, they're going to go ahead, probably bounce it right here. Just kind of do this sideways bullshit. And as soon as I go back to work, flush will finally go down. So, we'll see, though. I was literally watching it this morning on this, and I almost hopped in. I don't know why I didn't. I did this 2 or 3 times. There were 2 or 3 opportunities that I almost bought, and I was just going to play it for like literally, like I said, 5 minutes, 10 at the most. This trade right here was like a $300 to $500 profit I would have had. This one here was one that was a lot. It was like $500 to $1,000. But so now we're gonna have the bullshit little pump over the last few minutes. And then another thing I do look at, like say right now, kind of like earlier, when RSI isn't necessarily oversold, I take a look at the MACD. You can see overall MACD shows, I mean, we've been in selling, kind of quote unquote, a little bit of selling over the last, with the exception of this little bit of green we had for 5 minutes or so. We've been in selling mode for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 out of about the last 30 minutes. Pretty much the last half hour, we've kind of been in a little bit of a selling mode. Looks like we might be getting, this is the 12 EMA line, by the way. I need to adjust my studies because I've been using some different EMAs and SMAs lately, but looks like it might be getting ready to get rejected here by this 12 EMA. Looks like they might try to re-push it up. Hopefully it goes ahead and gets rejected and comes back down under 289.90. Like I said this a few minutes ago. I was like, right around 289.90, they're gonna try to save it. They're gonna try to bounce it right there, and if it breaks, then we're probably gonna go ahead and come on down to 289.60, 70 range fairly quickly, probably. But we'll just keep the chart pulled up like that for now and see what happens. But I mean, I would not be surprised, just because of the selling that we've had over the last half hour, if they go ahead and save it and try to pull it on back up to like 289 or something. It shouldn't happen, but a lot of things happen that shouldn't happen in the market, of course. See how oil's kind of bounced back a little bit, back up over 1% on the day. UWT is about to push over 22 as well, maybe. Again, looks like they're trying to push it up over that EMA. We'll see what happens in the next 2 to 5 minutes. Hopefully our stream's doing all right. Got 5 of you tuning in. Like I said, if you're new to the channel, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button and hitting that bell icon. We'd love to have you here. And if you have any questions, of course, feel free to shoot it out there in the chat box. It's all about patience at the end of the day. There you go. Rejected. Now see if it'll come down this time. A number close by to us just left me a voicemail. Give me just a second. So when we moved here last summer, I had a little lawn care business that I'd started up to make money while I was day trading. And I forgot to close that Facebook page, and people are starting to call me about needing their lawns mowed again. Needless to say, I didn't do that very long. It wasn't fun. Pays good, but it was not fun. So now we're under 289.90. Wouldn't be surprised again if they try to get it to pull up one more time. I think we might be getting ready to go into some more selling here. I'll go ahead and get my contracts pulled back up. So now those contracts have fallen about $8 each just since I started watching them again, which means since I'm buying 50 contracts, that's roughly a $400 swing in the last few minutes. Here we go, trying to be Superman and save it again. If we can get a decent amount of volume come in, have a volume spike like this candle where we had, how much volume that minute? 146,000. So if we can get a solid 145,000 volume, you could see it pull down relatively quickly. Just patiently waiting. I wish we could have another dump like this morning, but those dumps don't really tend to happen too many times in a given day, unless if, of course, it's an overall red day. Then you see more selling than buying, of course. I'm hoping that I will be able to catch this trade while I'm live with you guys. That's kind of the whole point of the stream, is because it's different whenever it's already happened. I come on here and do a recap and show you guys minute by minute what happened, where when you see it live, you see kind of, like I always tell you guys, 90% of trading is psychology, 10% is probably actual skill, the whole know-how. I mean, the know-how is just more so repetition, kind of seeing the whole movie, the same movie over and over again, and then just kind of knowing when to buy, when to sell, all that good stuff. But I would say 80 to 90, maybe even upwards of 95% is psychology. Just knowing that there's always more buying opportunities, that it's always better to cover your profit way too early than way too late and end up losing money rather than gaining a little bit of money, so on and so on. So, like right then, I could have hopped in and I would have been up. The position size I would have had to end up taking it probably around 40. So I would have been up $40 right now, just off of that move. Now it would have been 80. But it's just, it's not attractive right now. Let's take a look at that 5-minute chart really quickly. 5-minute chart's just now starting to show sell signal. So we'll see what can happen next 5 to 10 minutes. And that's the thing too, is when you're sitting here and watching, it's just being patient, being patient, being patient, and then all of a sudden, boom, you have a couple large candles move in your favor, and then there you go, it's time to buy, and then usually within the next couple minutes, time to sell, get out, make the house money, and move on. See, this one earlier took a little bit longer. Now I got a voicemail on my work phone. I don't know that number though. That ain't happening. Okay. Sure taking its sweet time, isn't it? And like I said, guys, if you have any questions or any ticker symbols you want me to take a look at specifically, you can always just let me know over there in the chat. What was I going to pull up here? SPY. So now those contracts are around $78 a piece. Yeah, I'll probably actually need to go ahead and see where my next stop actually is for work. They're trying as hard as they can to keep it up. 14 minutes away. So yeah, I'll probably have to wrap the stream up fairly soon, but no huge rush. Just had a cross on the MACD. Just barely, but we'll see. Like I said, that 289.90, that's going to be a pretty solid support. There's a little bit of resistance on the way up. Got rejected, what, 2 or 3 times at it before we went back up over 289, I should say, since we were above 289. I think we went up to, what, 290 and some change this morning? Yeah. So, 290, we broke it. They're trying to get it to pull back up above 290. I think they're going to keep failing here in the next few minutes. Should go ahead and pull below 280, you would think, ideally within the next minute or two, but as we know, especially this right around, what, it's 150 on the East Coast. This time, for some reason, this hour between, right around lunch hour, essentially, it's pretty slow, and then usually around 2:30 Eastern time is when we kind of have a pretty decent move. So probably within the next half hour we'll kind of see something shake out, but who knows what they'll do. I still think ultimately, I don't think they're probably even going to pull it down to 289.60. They'll probably pull it down somewhere around 289.70. It's kind of what I'm betting. It's about another 15 to 20 cent move to the downside. They might try to use that as a new support and then pull it on up to end the day, but I would love that, actually. To be honest, I'd make these option prices really cheap, but if they pull it down around here and the indicators look like it's time to buy, I'll probably hop in and just make some quick money. So like I said, we got 7 of you in here, and like I said, I mean, if you guys any questions at all, that's what it's here for at the end of the day. Because I mean, this scalping, I mean, we could sit here all day. It's almost like watching paint dry. It just, you're sitting there waiting, and then finally your indicators show, okay, it's probably time to buy. MACD, I mean, the MACD's making it look tempting on the 1 minute chart. What's keeping me from buying though, and I mean, I might even miss out here. We might see another bullshit pump on up, but what's keeping me from buying right now is just that 5 minute MACD as well as the RSI as well. I mean, it's showing we should be getting ready to pull down a little bit, but it doesn't always work out that way. It's just I like to look at whenever I don't know for sure if I'm going to hop in a trade based on what the 1 minute chart showing me, I go to the 5 minute as a backup. And if the 5 minute also leaves me kind of like, well, it's probably not the best time, then I just leave it alone and wait. I would rather miss out than hop in and end up losing money. So that's the thing with this type of style, guys. You have to be very patient and then hop on the opportunity. We'll probably get another 289.90 test one last time. If it breaks, then like I said, they'll probably go ahead and pull it on up to 290 again. But we'll see what happens. And like I said too, because I have to get ready to wrap the stream up here soon. If you're not already in our Discord group chat, that's down in the description box. Like I said, super easy to join. If you don't know what Discord is, it's probably one of the best chatting apps, like for groups, bigger groups and whatnot. We have about 80 members in there. It's totally free. Super easy to join. Just download the app on your smartphone and then click that link in the description that says our Discord chat or something like that about Discord. In the description, click the link. It'll take you right to the group. Super easy to join. We'd love to have you there. And there is where you'll literally get my where I tell you guys my trades and all that stuff. I don't ever tell you my trades because I want anyone to mimic my trades whatsoever. That's the dumbest thing you can do. I can't stress that enough. I need to repeat that more and more every day, because we get people from time to time that hop in and they trade based on what they see someone on YouTube say, which is just stupid. But you shouldn't be trading at all if you're trading based on someone else's opinion. But I gotta say it. So that group chat's essentially for all of us to throw ideas off one another, and that's where literally you can keep up to date with me and what trades I'm doing, how much I made, how much I lost, how much I'm down, up, etc. Because when I'm in a trade, I try as hard as I can to keep you guys updated on kind of just how the positions are doing and whatnot. And I mean, you get straight up unfiltered version of me in there. So we would love to have you there. But looks like we're, kind of just going to do this slow, kind of flat drag down until we finally get a rug pull here before long. So I'll just go ahead and wrap the stream up. Just like I said, if you want to know exactly, I might even hop on in the afternoon if I got time this evening before my fiance gets home to do an update if I ever decided to hop in, when I got in, out, how much money I made, etc., made or lost. And like I said, in Discord, I'll for sure keep you guys updated. And like I said, if you're new, definitely consider subscribing. I'm going to try to do these streams a lot more where I have roughly 1 to 2 hour break in my day, and I can come home, trade, do these live stock market streams with you guys. This is my favorite thing to do by far. And like I always said, when I'm doing these streams, if you guys ever have any questions or any stocks, ticker symbols you want me to take a look at, always feel free to shout it out there in the chat. And if you have a question after this video uploads, just shoot it out in the comments below, and I will answer those usually very, very quickly. But hopefully you guys did enjoy the stream. If you did, definitely make sure to smash the like button. I greatly appreciate that. And we'd love to have you in our Discord group chat as well. But until next time, guys, keep on going out there, making your profits, covering your profits, and achieving some financial freedom this year. And I will see you guys, like I said, maybe even this evening for another live stream, a little update. But if not, then Sunday for sure for our Sunday stock watch. But until then, take it easy, guys.